Hey everyone, welcome back. I have an auto Solly guide for you. Now, Solly was not meant to be done on auto. At all. But, I did my best to put something together for you. I tried to make this as free to play as possible, low gear, and easy to obtain units. Or somewhat easy to obtain. This video is just to get you the minimum score. You may be able to do more than that, but it depends on gear and the units you use. As this is an auto guide, I won't go too much into details on the mechanics, but I will mention some so you know why I picked the units I used. Alright, let's get into it. So here we have the gear. Make sure you collect your daily support reward. Chifu's going to be on tank gear. HP is going to be her best set for this. You want ground res, crit damage res, just basic tank stuff, melee res. I ran Tarask here on damage, but honestly, after further testing, I feel like any type of tank gear with ground res on him is going to be better. He'll have better survivability. If he gets crit at the wrong time, he just explodes. Aegea is going to be on CDR gear. Tanky CDR will be best. You want her to have as much skill haste as possible, spamming shields and heals as often as she can. Kyle is the crutch of this whole entire thing. You want him to be on your best CDR gear so that he can sit there and spam walls to slow Solly down. Yang on CDR, tanky if you can. Antag, or not the antag, but the replica set works. Gayun or your DPS that you use in this slot, you want on your best damage gear as possible. Britta damage gear is probably the best, in my opinion, if you don't have anti-siege attack. Same thing for Senjia or whichever DPS you use in this spot. You're going to want on not CDR, but attack and anti-siege, or just Britta attack speed. Seiyun on whatever. She's there for the buff and death break. The ship is going to be Enterprise that you want to use here. Detroit works as well. So does Razengriff. But Enterprise for this is my personal opinion. Kim Hana will be the operator you want to use. You see I'm using a level 1 without a side skill here. And I tried to use as little gear as possible. All broken sets and such, just so you can understand. But please don't do what I did and use your best gear. Alright, here we go into the fight. Now, Kyle's the crutch, as I was saying, of this entire fight. And you're going to want him to come out later, though, because not everything's set up quite right. You want him to come out after that first mine happens. So Tarask and Aegea will be able to sit there and survive this. But Kyle's walls will sit there and stop Solly from moving because they are actual towers. And that's the only thing that can stop her from advancing forward. With Yang and Aegea, you'll get the 2 shields that'll sit there and protect your team from the mines. As you saw, the rest of your team didn't take damage there, but regular Gia did. And then after she loses a third of her life, she'll do a backstep, which will return her back into the corner. Now on this third phase, when she goes back, you'll notice that she does extra AoE damage. And you probably will lose some units here. As they die off, everything will get redeployed, and Kim Hana will probably get procced again, which is fine. You have until 40 seconds left on the clock, or 43 seconds, I think, to get the minimum score required here. As you can see from these damage numbers, Gaeun was my top DPS, so forth and so forth. Alright, so I wanted to show you with proper gear this run. So same thing, Shifu with good gear, good tank gear on, Tarask with good tank gear on, little mix. Aegea with best in slot, CDR. Same thing for Kyle Wong. Yang, I actually put a little tank on her so she could survive. And then we have Sigma, All You Need, on A speed because she's going to get silenced and not really get to use her abilities anyways, and you just want her to punch as much as possible. But as you notice, I replaced Gaeun here with A Sigma, and honestly, you can replace Gaeun and Gia with any DPS as long as they can get inside Aegea's circle, or if their name is Kurian. And then I'm running Enterprise with Kim Hana. A speed size skill or crit damage size skill are going to be what you want to use here. Alright. Going into this fight, same thing's going to happen as before. Everything's going to sit there and deploy. Kyle's going to come out late. Wall stop Solly. And like I was sitting there saying, you want the stuff to get inside that circle so that they can get the shield from Aegea. And then the haste buff from Yang. And as you can see, Sigma is just going to sit there and wail on the boss. But like I said, any high DPS unit could sit there and work instead of Aegea. You can sit there and run ASY. Maybe Amina. She probably could sit there and survive. Kurian, pretty much any kind of Waken for the most part. She does get her ulti off because of the boss's backstep actually allow her time to get her cooldowns. All you need is Sigma. Now, I believe... Oh, let's see here. Yeah, I was doing this on 16%. And I was just stress testing it, slowly adding mods to sit there and see how far it could go. Haste will probably be your worst enemy to sit there and add on to as long as you're using Kyle. Because the slower his walls come out, the closer Solly gets to your team. But you can sit there and put in, you know, higher attack mods, HP mods, things like that. And just slowly go up to sit there and see how high of the points you can get on this. Alright, Solly on auto. As I said before, this boss was not meant to be done on auto. I will be doing a video later on the full mechanics as well as the strats on how to do the boss. In other news, Itchy Ninja is planning to hold a stream on Danger Close 101 for this boss on August 13th. I'll have more details on that later. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment or find me on Snekcord. Link will be in the description below. Besides that, I'll see you guys next time.